Hello and welcome everyone. I'm the Upper Down, aka Tud, and today we're going to be continuing our Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced playthrough. Alright, for those of you who haven't seen my YouTube video of the previous part of the playthrough, what I've been working on with Tud was white magic so I could unlock the blue mage. We did successfully do that, so now we are working on the learning ability. This ability will allow me to study attacks made against me and learn them as blue magic. Now these attacks are specifically from monsters. The monsters do have to use the ability on Tud, and Tud has to remain conscious and alive to successfully learn the abilities, as well as having learning equipped at the time to learn the ability successfully. Now, at the moment, I'm going to keep Shield Bearer on. There aren't too many monster-related combats in the near future. If I do come across one, I will switch that over just to have it. With our Juggler here, we did successfully finish Dagger, and we are now working on Ball. Ball will deal damage to an enemy and has a chance to confuse them. Confuse in this game will essentially be a coin flip between whether the enemy does something damaging to you or to their own comrades. So it can be beneficial when you're fighting especially powerful enemies. Next, we are working on Oust. Oust is an ability that is used against monsters that are particularly low health with the intention of removing them from the battle. It's not super helpful, but given that there aren't too many options for my hunter at the moment, that's what we're going to pursue with Nexu. Kaif here we have in the Dragoon role, working on Ice Breath. He is about halfway done with that, and he is using a Lance. His Lance will allow him to not only hit an adjacent enemy, but also one directly behind them. Can be sort of helpful if you're dealing with an enclosed space and multiple enemies. We have Utolio here in the Morpher role. He is almost done with Bug. Once he does complete that, we have recently acquired, in the last episode, a couple of extra souls that we can use. First we have the Panther Soul, which will allow Utolio to turn into the Red Panther. I haven't yet captured a Blue Panther, so we'll only be able to access one of the two. And then we also have the Eye Soul. This will allow Utolio to turn into the Blue Float Eye. We haven't yet captured the red one, so again, we'll only be able to access one of the two there. And finally, with Leticia, we are still in the Fencer role. We did finish Swarm Strike. Just need a couple more points here to finish off Shadow Stick and Shield Bearer. Alright, let's check and see if we have any active missions. We do not. Is our clan turf in danger? No, it is not. Alright, let's go back to the pub here and see if we can't find a good mission to go on. Hoopo, what's on your mind, Tud? Oh, I was just thinking about the next mission. Wondering what's in store for us. Looks like you're enjoying this, Kupo. Yeah, missions are kind of fun, aren't they? I could never do stuff like this where I come from. I've always wanted to use magic and fight monsters, and now I can. So, you should stay in this world? We can make our clan the strongest clan ever, Kupo. The strongest clan ever? Sounds cool. Mont Blanc? You've got to be one of the nicest people I know. Were you like this in the other world too, Kupo? Huh? Or maybe you don't trust me that much yet, Kupo. Of course I trust you. You've helped me out so much. You can be honest around me, Kupo. We're friends. And I know you're still getting used to our world. When I met Ritz in the Nubswood, all I could think was, now I can go home. I was sure that Ritz would help me find a way back, but I was wrong. Tud is Tud, and Ritz is Ritz. All you can do is what seems right to you, Kupo. I know that. It's just... it's hard to accept sometimes. Will I ever be able to find my way back home? What'll I do if the world stays like this forever? My advice is, take it easy, Kupo. Alright, let's see what missions are available to us now. There are quite a few, it seems. Swords in Cyril. Announcing the biggest event of the year, the Cyril Swordsmanship Competition. Test your strength and skill. Cyril Event Committee. This mission requires a fencer in order to accept. We have 2. I'm going to send out Marcy on this mission, since it does require 1 battle to be completed in order for the mission to complete, and I don't want to send out one of my primary units for this. Watching you. I think I'm being watched. People say I'm just paranoid, but I've been hearing flapping wings at night. Please investigate. TT, Shy Student. This will require 2 battles be cleared. Let's see if we have anyone we can send. Most of these characters won't succeed on this mission simply because they aren't currently equipped with anything. So let's take care of that. I'll just give them some generic equipment here. Let's see if we've changed anything. Even still. This must be a particularly challenging mission. We'll have to come back to that later. Mad Alchemist. Dig me a nice cave home. My bizarre experiments have earned me the moniker of Mad Alchemist. Now, I want to live alone. Galadinus, Alchemist. This will require 10 days walking around the map to complete, and it will grant some much-needed experience. I'm going to go ahead and send Utulio out on this mission so he can promptly finish his current research. Alright, any other good missions in here? Life or death? I'll never finish on time. I have to borrow someone's notes. Can you find some for me? Or I'll never get this homework done. Felhan, a student. This will require 1 battle be completed. We will acquire the mission item Black Thread, which we'll need for a later mission, but it will require the homework mission item. Seems like I'm going to have to work on some of my secondary companions here. I don't have many that can withstand a mission, it would seem. Let's finish the mission that Utulio is on, and then we'll search for a combat. Utulio here, Mad Alchemist was a success. As a result, Utulio has mastered Bug. And we gained 2 skill points. Alright, so let's go ahead and switch Utulio over to Panther. And we'll have to enter a combat here to try this out. Alright, so forbidden is the use of instruments, and recommended is the use of night swords. I don't believe either of those will impact us in this combat, as I don't have any characters that can use either. First up, we have Devoe, the Animist. We have Itoli, the Archer. We have Maud, the Healer, White Mage. And Lucretia, the Fencer. Finally, we have Marion, the secondary healer, who also specializes in debuffs. She is an elementalist. This battle should push Leticia over the edge of her training, so then she'll be able to move on to a more advanced class. We'll go ahead and bolster our attack for the following turn. Not much I can really do at the moment with my Dragoon. Anywhere I would choose to stand would be too far. What is their archer going to do? Just base damage, okay. Unfortunately, since I am in a magic class, the chance to hit me with attacks has increased. But due to my main character's initial leveling as a melee class, the damage done is much less than it would be if I were starting out or leveling as a caster class. Alright, let's go ahead and morph into a panther. I'm eager to see what abilities are available to me. I'd like to get a vantage point, but I don't have a lot of movement at the moment to make that happen. Alright, critical hit. We've put their enemy healer into a low health state. I believe this fencer has reflex. She does not. Okay. Reflex would have allowed her to dodge automatically any melee basic attacks made against her. So I don't have to worry about that. However, my air render skill is slightly stronger than my melee attack, so we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, Marion the Elementalist. She is too far away to do much of anything this turn. The Animist uses an instrument's weapon, so they won't be able to attack this turn. Let's go ahead and remove the primary healer from their team. Just a basic attack here. Once again, too far away to do much of anything with my Dragoon. However, I will be able to use Ice Breath on the Fencer. This is the Dragoon ability that we are currently in the process of completing. Unfortunately, no hit there. If this is successful, it should take their Animist out of the battle. Ah, so close. Block arrows will prevent any damage from this. Alright, let's go ahead and see what sort of Panther abilities we have. Poison Claw and Rend. Rend, bite target's weak spot to deal damage. I'm going to go ahead and do Poison Claw here. Doesn't necessarily matter either way, it should be enough to finish the enemy regardless. You might see a debuff here. Water damage and slow. Unsuccessful. This is a little bit of a gamble given the elevation, but let's give it a try. Ah. This should greatly reduce the Elementalist's health and put her in critical. Unfortunately, I probably won't be able to reach the archer. Oh, just enough. Okay. Let's go ahead and try out Confuse. We'll throw a ball up there. Alright, success. Go ahead and take out the Animus now. I have a feeling the Elementalist will get her turn before I have a chance to do anything. Unless Itoli decides to attack her. No, instead gonna go for my Hunter that has block arrows. Alright, not much to be done here. So I'll go ahead and unmorph and see if I can take out the Elementalist with magic. I almost certainly won't be able to land an attack with my Hunter from here, but it's always worth trying. Oh, she has block arrows. So I will just go ahead and move on to the next character in the rotation. Let's see if we can land an attack with Air Render. Only a few health left. I don't think I can reach with this from here. Okay. And this should be the end of the battle. That went well. Let's keep up the good work. I got a Mithril Brand here, a weapon that will teach a combo to, I believe, the Banga, as well as maybe the Paladin. Leticia has mastered Shadow Stick and Shield Bearer, and we've completed 2 of our Send Away missions. Swords in Cyril. Marcy here. Swords in Cyril was too easy. She has mastered Swarm Strike. And I have obtained 5 Holy Water for leveling up my skills. The second mission, Life or Death. Amelia here. Life or Death was too easy. Alright, so let's take a look at Leticia here. She has unlocked the Red Mage. So let's go ahead and swap over to the Red Mage here. And we'll give her the Catch ability. If anything is ever thrown at her, she'll catch it and store it in the inventory. Right now, she only has access to Poison and Thunder, I believe. So we'll go ahead and give her Thunder. She also now could potentially put on the Fortune Ring. Ring set with a Stone of Power. It will nullify Sleep and Doom if it is ever cast on her. While that is powerful, there is something I want more than that. And we'll be going to get that here shortly. In my last playthrough, after finishing the abilities that I was learning, I unlocked the next and final tier, I might add, of the shop. So everything that they would be able to sell is now available to me. There are a few items in here that I think are worth picking up. The judo uniform, for example, which will convert damage done to mana instead of damage to health, which is very beneficial for the blue mage as well as the morpher. We also have the brigandine, which will allow for the counter reaction. That is very important. We're going to go ahead and pick up 2 of those. The next thing I'd like to pick up is the dash boot. So this will give me 1 additional movement for every unit that has one equipped. Personally, I like to have my entire main squad equipped with those. And I'll go ahead and pick up the judo uniform, just so I can get started on that with the morpher. And we'll equip the dash boots and the fortune ring. Now, I will go ahead and take off immunity. Oh, apologies. Damage mana points is a reaction, so I can actually have both. I was under the impression that I had to take off immunity to put that on, but good news. Alright, so the morpher is fully equipped. Once my juggler has completed the ability he's currently working on, I will switch him back over to Thief, so he can start working on his counter. And same thing with Nektsu. Once he finishes his Oust ability, we'll switch him back over to a Thief as well. Alright, any other missions available to us at the moment? So there are a few. Earthly Colors. I restore artwork for a living, but I'm out of paints. I need some rock from the mountains. Only the hardy need apply. Roseni. At the Whites. This mission will take 5 days, and will provide us with 2 items as a reward. The first is the Thunder Robe. That will allow us to absorb lightning damage when a lightning attack is made against us. The second item is a mission item, Ancient Text. This mission item has a special purpose later on to use as a mission item to obtain another item that will be very important to us when the time comes. I'm going to go ahead and send out Nektsu on this mission. I want to try to get him done with his ability he's working on as quick as possible. Still don't have the white thread for that mission. Nektsu here, Earthly Colors cleared. Gained 30 ability points. And we've received 10 high potions for leveling up our skills. So let's go ahead and equip this lightning robe here. Ah, a monster-based party. I already have antlions of both blue and red. I do not, however, have the bomb, so we will be looking to acquire one of those. Our first enemy here is Grood. He is a blue antlion. Then we have Yarafak, the red jawbreaker. Tafmasib, the blue antlion. Atena, the bomb. And Hoannis, the rock beast. The current laws forbid the use of fire, but recommend the use of ice, which is actually beneficial to us because the bomb can only do a melee attack or a fire attack. So this will limit him now to only melee. Actually going to make an adjustment here to Nexu's passive abilities. We don't need Battletech quite as much as we need aim. I'm also going to go ahead and switch Utulio's passive secondary to control, due to us having both a bomb and a rock beast in this battle. This will allow Utulio to take control of them for one turn. Let's test out the Red Mage's magic and see what we're working with. 18 damage. Not great. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and use aim to boost her melee attack. The bomb has 43 health, and that would do 64 damage. Don't think that is the way to go here. Ice damage would also do 64 damage. The Rock Beast is incredibly resistant to physical damage, so attempting to melee attack would most likely result in very minimal damage. So instead, I'm going to attack the red bug here. I think I stand the highest chance of controlling the rock beast. 70%, yes. Alright, success. So do 32 damage. Need to try and clear out the antlions. Just to give myself an easier time fighting the rock beast and the bomb. See what a little bit of ice magic would do. Hopefully we don't get a critical that would kill the bomb. Alright, very fortunate. Alright, so now we have control of Honus, the rock beast. Unfortunately, his movement is greatly reduced, so we won't be able to do anything with him this turn. $37 damage. $18. Let's go ahead and blind the rock beast, since he won't be especially useful to us here in a moment. Okay, so this enemy has a counter attack, so I will instead attack him from an additional tile away to negate that. Let's attempt our first capture of the bomb here. Ah, success. Now I just have to find a good way to get rid of the rock beast. Go ahead and disable it so it can't make any attacks against me. Our magic may not be particularly strong, but it is one of the only options I have against this particular enemy. Any sort of ice-related attack, regardless of it being the killing blow or not, will still grant me a judge point. I doubt we'll need it here, but I am going to go ahead and morph into a Panther, as that would be the only way this character in particular could do any damage. Faust has no success chance at removing this enemy from the battle. So we'll have to settle with 6 damage. Alright, Air Render is considered a physical attack, so I don't believe it'll do too great of a damage, but 13 isn't bad. And we'll throw out some ice magic here. This should be enough to finish the Rock Beast. That went well. Let's keep up the good work. And we've received a Mithril Knife for combos with the Thief and Juggler, I believe. Nektsu has mastered Oust, so we can now change him over to a Thief. For now, I'll keep his secondary as Aim. If I find myself in a beast-related combat, I will switch to Hunt, just for the chance of capturing a beast. For now, we want to pick up Counter. And Steel Accessory. Having a shield is nice, but I'm going to stick with Gauntlets for the additional damage. My Juggler still needs 2 battles. Dragoon needs 2. So does Yatulio. Letitia should be done with Thunder after the next battle. Then we can switch her over to the Poison red magic ability. Newbie Hall. Need part-time teachers. Help apprentices in a wide variety of jobs. Learn the tricks of your trade. Ox, Newbie Hall Chief. This mission will last for 10 days and requires a combat level of 5. We do not currently have that, so we won't be able to take on that mission. So instead, let's go with Fire Fire. Breaking news. Fire on Gradsgreen Street. Need help to quench the spreading blaze. Cyril Fire Chief. Some missions are only able to be picked up from the town that they will take place in. This is one such example. Alright, so the laws at the moment forbid the use of ice, but recommend the use of fire. So we will have to keep in mind not to use any form of ice magic. We have Rilran, the bomb, Hoyashulk, the bomb, Yodicus, the bomb, and Thalius, the bomb. Look at all the bombs. They'll burn down the whole town. Start out with a little thunder magic here. Low chance to hit, but I'm feeling lucky. Unfortunately, not much the Dragoon can do at the moment, so we will simply wait here. Yatulio. Let's give it a shot. Now, seeing as I already have a red bomb, and you can only have one copy of each type of monster, I unfortunately won't be able to capture any of these. Let's go ahead and boost my physical attack here. Fire damage, but due to my reaction ability, the damage will instead be applied to my mana. A very nice ability because each turn you regain 5 mana. So as long as you have a turn to regain that mana before you would run out, you will instead never take any damage to your health. Alright, 50-50 chance that this immediately takes this enemy out of the game. And it was successful. Normally I would attempt to use Frost Magic here to take this enemy out right away, but that would incur the wrath of the judge, so instead, we will be resorting to Lightning Magic. Well, I don't have any way to hit him at the moment. His elevation is too high for me to use my melee weapon. Let's try and finish him off with a Thunder Strike here. One enemy left. It's going to shoot a fireball at me. Not much for Yutulio to do here, so we'll just hang tight. And now my Thief, with his boosted attack damage, will be able to end this fight. 90 damage, critical. Whew. Glad we stopped them before it spread to other streets. Alright, fire clear. We've obtained the Sprinkler mission item, as well as the Char bow that teaches Blackout. Our clan has leveled up, and we've leveled up a couple of skills as well. Alright, and I think that is going to do it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe. If you're watching from my YouTube, that helps me greatly. If you're watching from Twitch, please feel free to follow for more. Alright, until next time.